And joining me now with reaction, former Deputy Assistant to the President, Fox News National Security Strategist Sebastian Gorka, and former Secret Service agent, NRA TV contributor Dan Bongino. Dr. Gorka, we start with you. For everybody that has been so critical, oh, Rocket Man, I can assure, and I'll address this in my monologue tonight, I can assure the world that he's not going to be offering $150 billion in cash and other foreign currencies, nor will he be offering what Bill Clinton gave Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, and that was energy and billions of dollars.
It's truly incredible, Sean, what a massive difference one election makes. We have an administration that's not going to kowtow to evil regimes. It's not going to fund terrorist regimes, as you rightly pointed out with the JCPOA Iran deal. American leadership is back. We have a president who has walked the walk, talked the talk, and carried a very large stick. He stood up to this Stalinist dictatorship in North Korea. And what's happened? In the matter of just a few months, they've backed down and they want to talk. After decades and decades of appeasement, this is the vindication of the president's foreign policy. After the crushing of ISIS, this is perhaps the biggest foreign policy win that we have seen. And it's less than a year and a half into the administration. This is a problem that has plagued the West, plagued the Pacific region for decades, and finally there is hope of resolution. Remember what Reagan said, trust but verify, but we are on the way to stabilizing the peninsula.
Yeah, well said. And Dan Bongino, by showing strength and a commitment, one thing that I don't think a lot of people have understood is the effect, the impact these sanctions have had. China, the president's relationship with China has put a lot of pressure, and China has withdrawn a lot of their financial support and trade as it relates to North Korea. That has played a part in it. And also America's military force in the region, as shown by the president, there was no question what the consequences would be if Kim Jong-un continued what he was doing and firing these missiles. He was precipitating a crisis. The president would strike. It would have happened. It was inevitable.
Absolutely. Sean, a couple points on this. You know, one of the lessons a lot of these hostile geopolitical actors learned around the world after the Iraq war was never, ever go to war with the United States without nuclear weapons. You will be annihilated, and annihilated quickly. Well, the Kim regime learned from that, and they've been holding the threat of nuclear war like a gun to the head of the world now for years. But think about what happened. They took advantage of our predictability on this, Sean, and we've been predictable through Democrat and Republican administrations. Then we get a Queens builder in office who drops a couple DEFCON 1 level tweets in there. He's entirely unpredictable, and all of a sudden they want to chat about denuclearization. I think Trump deserves, even from his liberal haters, and they are many, and legion in the media, deserves a little bit of credit for what Dr. Gorka said, and he's right, a major, major foreign policy breakthrough.
You know, very predictably, Dr. Gorka, the left only seems to like it if we're bowing, kissing the rings of murdering dictators and offering them bribes. Well, offering bribes with Bill Clinton and Kim Jong-il didn't work. It's not going to work with the mullahs in Tehran. And this president took a very different response, and it absolutely sent the media in this country, they were apoplectic over the fact that he called him Little Rocket Man, make fun of him. Yeah, our weapons actually work, and we have a lot more than you do, and you're going to pay a very severe price. But the one consistent thing that we see as we look through history is that capitulation and appeasement never works. Peace through strength, it's not just a slogan, it is a philosophy. And the only way to get respect is to stand strong in the face of tyranny.
Right, as we did twice during the 20th century, and America saved Western civilization, saved Judeo-Christian civilization from the Nazis and then the communists. I just want to see the headlines tomorrow, Sean, in the New York Times, the Washington Post, on CNN, in the Huffington Post, that they're going to eat crow because the president's policies worked. You know what the real irony is? Guess who got the Nobel Peace Prize? The man who flamed flamed out with his foreign policy, Barack Obama. Who deserves a peace prize right now? It's Donald Trump for what he's bringing to the Korean Peninsula. That's the truth.
Let me go, Dan Bongino, to the actual statement. And I think this is really profound. And I brought this up with John Roberts. And John Roberts' insight into the president: I'm not trying to start a war. I want peace here. But peace doesn't begin by begging dictators to be nice to us. If we're nice to you and bribe you, will you please be nice back? But this is bigger than just stopping the nuclear testing and the missile testing that's been going on. This is about denuclearization. And in the meantime, the joint exercises continue with South America and our allies. In the meantime, the sanctions continue. The president has given up nothing, and it seems like little rocket man blinked and blinked big time tonight because it's been working, and he sees this as a real threat.
Yeah, he does see it as a real threat. You know, strength matters. But don't expect anybody on the left or the media, Sean, to give him any credit for this. As we saw with Reagan and his crushing of the Soviet Union, they went after Reagan, not the Soviet Union. Just like they did, by the way, when they went after Trump, when he went after the North Korean leader, a sworn enemy of the United States. You know, the left and the media spend an inordinate amount of time fighting fake enemies, you know, inanimate statues and things like that, and leaving the real enemies of the United States alone. But I think Dr. Gorka is right. I think there's going to be a whole lot of servings of crow getting ready to be served tomorrow to the media and the left. This is unquestionably a major breakthrough. I was actually astonished by this tonight when it came out.
Remember back during the Olympics, Kim Jong-un's sister made Mike Pence look bad, which never happened. And that was the media's narrative. Oh, my God, he's provoking World War III. He said, little rocket man. The one thing that it seems that we forget is we are the United States of America. We have the meanest, toughest military on the face of this earth. Reminding dictators that they cannot intimidate us is not a bad foreign policy. But if it encourages them to reach out for peace, we offer our hand in peace because the world ultimately is better off for our children and grandchildren. It's not that complicated, Dr. Gorka.
It's not. And let me share with you, I was in the Oval by myself with the president maybe back in May, and he just looked up from his desk and he said, I do not want to go to war on the Korean Peninsula. But he understands when a threat is made, and he loves our military and he understands them. I took 18 Green Berets into the Oval. The way he connected with them was incredible. He understands that diplomacy means nothing unless you have the option for force to back it up. And that's what we've forgotten for far too long. And whether it's a Moab bomb in Afghanistan, whether it's cruise missiles in Syria, he's not an adventurist, but he will stand up to evil, as we have done so many times before. And I just want to know how the never-Trumpers are going to react. How are the Tom Friedmans, how are the sad individuals like Max Boot going to react now when Donald Trump's policies keep winning? And as you mentioned it, I think the steel tariff is part of this deal.
Absolutely. And I'll get to that later in the program tonight. Well said. Dr. Gorka, thank you. Dan Bongino, thank you.